to the season. Swipe for the content, no better reason. Calendar jewels, December's delights. Unwrap a new game, this live stream hype. Gaming in fears, Dolly's daily grind. Follow his channel, event surprise. Dolly's gaming holiday, fears and cheer. Each new game wipe away the year. Join the fun, giggles and fortunes. Dolly's advent joy, grab the potion. Pixel trees and 8-bit lights aglow. Through virtual worlds this holiday flow. Vivid taverns, neon lands. Raise your glass, gaming fans.
Hello and welcome to the last day of this year's Advent calendar. It's the 25th of December and I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas Eve and you are having yourself a very Merry Christmas Day. And as per tradition, I will not be playing a game today, rather I'll be ranking the games from how much fun I have with them, from least to most. And yeah, I'm only basing this ranking off what little I played during the Advent calendar, so it's like not a fair ranking. It's just it's more for shits and giggles in that than a real ranking. So we usually just try to have a little fun with it. And I'm also gonna be enjoying a couple of beverages today. Usually I get like a video which is like this horrible like a sweet beer that we have here in Denmark. But instead I wanted to try something else, so I went out and made myself a Christmas gin. Look at this lovely little reindeer glass. I added a bit of dehydrated orange slice just to give it a bit more taste to the thing. And here we have it. It's a Christmas gin I made. Basically, I just took a bottle of gin and added some Christmassy spices to it. I think there was like ginger, cardamom, cloves, a bit of sugar, and some other stuff. I can't remember. And yes, it smells lovely though. Has that really like Christmassy smell, and with the like pine taste of the gin. Oh boy, this is gonna feel just like Christmas. And we're gonna go heavy with the with the gin on this one. And some tonic, of course. And let's try this little Christmas gin and tonic now. Oh, that's wonderful. With like the Christmassy spices of the gin plus the that pine taste that gin often has, is like very wonderful. It just feels like Christmas in a cup. Oh, that's great. Much better than that crappy video I usually get. We're gonna put it like here so you can look at you guys. Say hi to the reindeer. But of course I'll also be getting a beer today. And as tradition, I'm gonna get my favorite Christmas beer. And it is the Grimbergen Brassin de Noël. And with a new like design on the label this year. Lovely. Anyways, let's pop this bad boy up. I love that sound. I love that smell of the beer. Ah, so great. The foam, like nice and thick, wonderful. This dark amber colored beer. The Christmas spirit is just hitting me so hard right now. We can also read about it on the back. I forgot to do that. Amber colored seasoned beer brewed for Christmas and winter coziness. Rich on aromas of caramel, licorice and matured fruit. With the phoenix bird as a symbol, the Grimbergen Monastery is risen from the ashes again and again since 1128 and can today offer a unique beer that sends you on a sensory exploration. Why couldn't I say that? Taste and experience this taste and experience this richness yourself. I was trying to get a bit Danish word in there. Oh well. With an awesome Christmas beer and an awesome Christmas gin and tonic, what can go wrong today? But enough drinking, let's get into the ranking of this year's Advent calendar. And starting off with the very worst game of the Advent calendar, we have the City of Lost Children. My God, I felt so, I don't know, so much of the time I just was like, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? What can I do with this fucking bottle? And yet the girl we played as was no help at all. Every time I tried to do something, she went, I can't do that. Like that little fucking bitch, Vignette. Like, come on. Where Maybe playing this on a PC with a guide, it could have been better, but on a console like this, I felt so lost. Maybe if I like, there's like this big ass manual that I didn't look through. Maybe like answers to it in here. No. It's basically just like, as I could see there, the controls and like characters, and then it is like in 5 different languages. Oh boy. The City of Lost Children, it's an amazing movie, or at least a very cool movie, but the game itself you can definitely skip. Next up we have Biofreaks. Again, this game could probably have been very fun if you played this with a friend instead of playing it against the AI. But I just kept getting my ass kicked by the bloody AI in this game. There are some cool designed fighters in this. Most of them are just like over-designed crap. And yeah, it's a shame because I feel like this could have been a lot better than it was. But it's just like a piece of crap. I wish I had Brian over for the day when we played this. Then it would be like much higher on the ranking. Instead I had to play this god-awful piece of fighting game by myself. Oh well, at least that's over now. And next up we have Blade. Again, this game is not awful. The thing that is holding this back is the control. Not necessarily for the combat, but with the whole like switching between your sword and gun and different ammunitions. It felt just ever so cumbersome. And that's such a shame because I feel like there's like a gem of a game hiding here. And one of my viewers, I forgot who you were, I'm sorry, also said that they actually liked this game when they were a child. And that seems to like make sense because I also think I would have liked this game as a child, but I cannot get over with the struggle of that control of switching between the weapons and like that. So annoying. It's so annoying that we don't like have like a decent Blade game. The best fucking Blade game that is out there is actually the Ghost Rider game for the PS2, because once you've beaten it, you can play through the game as Blade. So yeah, that's kind of sad that that's the best Blade game we have. But oh well. Next up we have another movie licensed game based on one of my favorite animated movies, and it is Vampire Hunter D. Again, there's nothing like critically wrong with this game. With the exception of maybe like, again, the controls weren't really like, that fun. Again, with how little we played this, I feel like there's a lot more in this that could be like fun potentially. It could also just become super annoying, I don't know. But if you're into like the old school Devil May Cry, like the first game, and you wanted to try a worse version on on a previous console generation, I think this is like the best bet you can go for. Yeah, I don't know. Love the movie Bloodlust. Really recommend you guys to watch that if you're into like animes or vampires or whatever. It's a really awesome, beautiful movie. The game is only alright. It's only alright, unfortunately. Oh, let's not forget to drink my beer. Oh, my Christmas gin and tonic. Yummy. Next up we have Chase the Express, and this case is like falling apart, so I'm gonna hold on to this very firmly. Chase the Express. It felt kind of like Die Hard on a train, and it even takes place during Christmas, so it is a Christmas game technically. The thing that holds this one back is probably like the load scene. There was so many goddamn load scenes. It was probably not so bad for you guys because I cut most of them out, but sitting through that so many times, it's like it felt like just lowered the excitement of the game, and that's like the main gripe I have with How Little I Play. The combat itself, like, I mean, it's a PS1 game. I don't expect it to be like amazing controls. It's fine for the generation that it is. But yeah, I don't know. Chase the Express, I have thought maybe we've gotten something a little more interesting, but it feels like maybe just a tad bit mediocre at the end of it all. So yeah. That was Chase the Express. Next game's ranking is probably going to anger some people, but bear in mind, I'm only ranking up based on how much fun I had while playing it. And yeah, I didn't have like that much fun playing this when I played it. And that is the Alien Trilogy. Holy crap, I couldn't see shit while playing this game. It was so freaking dark while I played this game. I mean, again, I think there's like a good game hiding in here. If I could just turn up the brightness, or get like a freaking flashlight, or play this on a PC. Again, I haven't even like looked up yet if there's a PC port of this, which could be great. Or maybe like you could mod it to like run on a PC, which would probably also be the best way to play this. I know this is near and dear to many people's hearts, but I couldn't get into it. And also like I keep getting my ass kicked by the freaking aliens. Again, that's just me sucking at games, but I don't want to play games to get good. I want to play games to get like that power trip, you know. That's why I never really like the Souls games, because I get my ass kicked, and I just want to feel like a big, strong person killing people, or like experiencing a great story in a game. And yeah, this made me feel like a wet noodle. So a little too close to home, Alien Trilogy. Next game's ranking is also kind of like hurting me, because I remember this game being a lot better and I had a lot more fun with it. But when I played this, I don't know. And that is Wild 9. The concept itself is very cool, with like the rig that you use to throw enemies. And yeah, but again, another problem, I got my ass kicked in this game. And I even think I was playing this on the easiest level, and that just like holy crap. Also, I just seem to remember the pace of the game being a lot faster when you like threw enemies side to side, which it went a lot slower than I remembered. Again, I still think this game worth adding to your collection if you can find it for a decent price. It does have some redeeming elements, and again, most likely I just suck at video games as per usual. I've been playing too many modern games lately. It's so hard to go back to like old and hard games. So yeah, but it's a wild and weird game, as it says on the box, and yeah, very interesting nonetheless. All right, the next game in the ranking also hurts. It also hurts me, but it just shows how good of a roster I picked this year. I picked way too few bad games. I picked mainly like a bunch of like great or like fun games. So yeah, sorry about that. The next game is Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue. Oh, don't hate me for this. I know this is also like very nostalgic to a lot of people. We played this again. I mean, the platforming was fun. The combat again is fun. It feels like just a fun time. But there's just so many other games where I just also had a more fun time with, at least like looking back at it. Maybe maybe even if I had to like sit down and choose to play a game, I would put this higher. Fuck it, it's too late. I'm gonna stick with my original ranking. Toy Story 2, again, if you can find this for a decent price, it's definitely worth adding to your collection. Very fun, nostalgic platformer with combat, so yeah. Awesome that game. The next game here is definitely worse than Toy Story 2, but there are some other elements that just increase the whole experience. And again, I'm basing this ranking solely on how much fun I had while playing it. And yeah, next one is Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. The reason why this is so high is because I had so much fun playing this with my buddy Brian and drinking snaps. But we probably gotten a little too much snaps by the time we got to this game, so yeah. But still, Scooby-Doo, it's a decent fun game where you play Scooby or Shaggy and throw pies at enemies, and yeah, go play through like different time periods. There's nothing like inherently wrong with this game, except it's like, I don't know, it's just like, it's not exciting my titties in any way, shape or form. But yeah, playing this with a friend while drinking a lot of snaps just makes it a lot more fun. So yeah, this is why it's ranked as high as it is. It would probably be like 1 or 2 ranking lower if not for the snaps and the company while playing this game. I'm actually surprised that I ranked this game as high as I did, and that is Medieval 2. This game, when I played this, there was so many like technical problems with like the frame rate. Every time I talked to the freaking ghost, the frame rate would drop like drastically, and it'd just be so annoying. But I feel like there's a very awesome game hiding here, and if I had played this like very smoothly, it would have been like way higher in the ranking. The reason why this is like very like in the middle of the ranking is just by the technical problems I had with it. Yeah, again, I love the first Medieval game. This one feels like it's like straight up that alley again, gameplay wise, and just with new settings and everything like that. But if I played this like smooth and no technical problems, it'd be a lot higher on this ranking. So yeah, if you can find this, definitely go to get it, or like emulate it or whatever. Hopefully the emulator won't have any problems. Hopefully like it's just my PlayStation that had trouble running this game, and it's not like running like that, or not. Hopefully not all copies are running like that. It would be awful, but I don't think they are. So yeah. Anyways, awesome game. Definitely like check this out if you can get it. Next game also hurts a little bit to put this low, but that's just because like not a whole lot of stuff happened while we played it. And that is Xenogears. I gotta be careful not to call it Xenosaga again. Xenogears for the PS1. I guess they're all for the PS1. Why do I? Fuck it. Yeah. JRPG, it seems like cool enough. I have heard that the first part of the games is the best, like the first disc of the 2 discs that are on here, and then the second disc should like lower in quality. But again, with how little we played with this, I think we played like 30-40 minutes of this game. That is not enough to judge a JRPG. We need to be like hours in to give it like a fair adjustment or like a judging. But there's like a lot of cool potential in here with the like giant mechs, but we just really didn't get to that. We went through like this like valley, talked to like that kid with the receding hairline that went all the way up to the moon, and yeah, talked with a like weird scientist guy. Enjoyable music. The combat itself, I mean, probably when we get in a little more and it opens up and we get some special abilities, it will be a lot more fun. But from what little we played, it wasn't really that great. And there's like 2 different enemy types we came across throughout that entire playthrough. So I cannot rank this in good conscience higher based on what little I played. So yeah, this is why it is so low. Next up we have Martian Gothic Unification, a horror game very much inspired by the Resident Evil games, at least in the way that it controls, where you control 3 characters. Again, I didn't play enough of this to like really experience the game when it opens up a lot more. We didn't really see any combat or stuff like that, so it's hard to judge this game. But again, I was very much intrigued when I played this. It was fun to go around the station, and I kind of want to keep playing this. I want to go back to this and give this like a fair shot one day, because I think there could be like a very cool game hiding here. But I'm not 100% sure. I could also fear a little that it would be too repetitive to like play with 3 different characters, having to switch between those on the fly so many times. But again, intriguing game. I love sci-fi horror. It's like one of my favorite combinations of genres. So yeah, that's also probably why it's like as high as it is. But yeah, oh well. This was Martian Gothic. And from one horror game to another, we have Dino Crisis. Again, I had like similar problems with this as with Martian Gothic. We didn't really get to experience a whole lot. We didn't like get to walk around the base or the island that much of this game, and that is the flaw with these advent calendars. Yeah, I don't get to play enough of the game to come with like a fair judgment of the game. But yeah, I love I'm fucking with the vibe of this game so much, because I love the idea of dinosaurs. But the setting itself was a little bland, you know. We didn't get to see the island itself. We just walked between like fences and like some side room and a little on the hallway in there. There wasn't really anything there that like felt or looked cool, like the space station in Martian Gothic or like the manor in Resident Evil. But still, there's something about this. There was a charm to this game that just makes it like a little better than Martian Gothic. I don't know. Yeah, Dino Crisis would love to see a like Resident Evil like remaster of this game. That would be so freaking awesome. So yeah, this is where I rank this one. Oh boy, this game's ranking is also just based on the experience of it all, and it is Heart of Darkness. And again, the reason why this is so highly ranked is just because of the whole experience. Playing this with a friend while getting shit-faced, it was so fun. And it's a hard game, but it's also like not a punishingly hard game. You know what I mean? Because even if you die, you get back to like just a few moments before you die. You didn't like get all the way back to the start of the level, or you didn't have to like you didn't have any lives. So when you died like 3 times or 4 times or whatever, then you had to start over or something like that. You just if you die, then fuck it, you're just trying again. So it's hard to get angry at it because of the difficulty, because there wasn't really any like discouragement to like replay this. So yeah, and also it's just fun to play this with a buddy and just laugh at how bad he was, and then he could laugh at how bad I was afterwards and rage a bit. It's always fun to rage a bit when you're drunk. Oh, that's probably gonna get me in trouble. And also just like the unique art style of this game. Very interesting to play. Alright, we're starting to get into some of the very good games I played throughout this advent calendar. And the next one is Disruptor, a very cool first-person shooter on the PS1 made by Insomniac. And again, this game has like decent controls, relatively like fun environments. I know it's like very foggy, but it was like for a first-person shooter of that time, it was kind of fun. And yeah, I kind of liked it a lot. The thing that's holding this one back from being further up the ranking is the limited ammunition that just made you like, well, like, what the fuck? This is a first-person shooter. Let me just get a lot more ammunition so I can shoot people. But I have to use that shitty baton. and the platforming. The platforming is also one reason this one is being like as slow on the ranking as it is. But yeah, Disruptor, definitely a game you should check out, especially if you can emulate this. I think again this would be a lot better if you could play this with a mouse and keyboard. I don't think there is a official release for this for PC, so emulation is probably your best bet. But definitely like give this one a chance. Very fun first-person shooter. I'll be curious to play more of this as well. If I'm gonna play this more, it's probably gonna be on an emulator with like save states and better controls with a mouse and keyboard. For these like old school first-person shooter, it's just what works the best, to be honest. So yeah, Disruptor, fun game. Next game is C12 Final Resistance. This game is like, where have you been? Like, why are not more people talking about you? A very fun third-person shooter for the PS1, and it seems so much ahead of its time. I don't get why people are not talking about this, because this is a blast. It was a little hard to get to running on the like emulator of the PS3, but oh well, we got it to work. And again, combat, like if you compare this to a modern day game, it's not gonna hold up like that, because there are way better third-person shooters on the PS2 or 3 or 4 and so on. But for the time, for how good this is, it's like very good. Like I played so many other third-person shooters on the PS1 that just doesn't hold a candle to, again, how little I played of this. And very satisfying gunplay. The enemies was very fun designed, robot alien things. The weird ass sword you had, like that was like not the greatest design, but hey, you didn't have to use it that often. Again, this very interesting. Definitely, like I don't think it's like super expensive, so definitely like get this if you can find it for a decent price. I mean, I think I still see it regularly for the like the equivalent of maybe $8 or $10 often online. So yeah, if you find it for around that, it's definitely worth a buy, just for the shits and giggles. Next up we have Assault. This game was just so freaking fun. A side-scroller where you could get these power-ups in like the same way as Contra and other side-scroll shooters and that style, like whatever. Very fun. Like with every power-up you got, you just feel more and more powerful. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about like feeling, getting a power trip when playing a video game. This just, it was just wonderful, just killing aliens like that. Again, so much fun. The only thing that's keeping this down is like the platforming, again, not that great. And also maybe it maybe got a tad bit repetitive with the gameplay. But I really like the level designs. The combat felt fun and exciting. Had I gotten this one of the days where I had Brian over, and it could have been so much more fun, because this is a two-player game. And imagine like the chaos on the screen if two players are playing this at the same time. I mean, just with the hamster ball of doom and shooting up everything to the power-ups, how powerful I just felt being on my own this game. Imagine two players, double the freaking chaos when playing this game. It would be such a blast to play with a friend. So yeah, Assault, definitely get this. I also don't think it's like super, don't quote me on this, I haven't seen this in a while online, so it might have gone up in price a bit, but I still think last time I saw it, it was around like, you know, between $10 or $15, and it's definitely worth that, especially if you have like a friend to play it with. So yeah, this was Assault. Next up we have a horror classic on the PS1, and it is Nightmare Creatures. Basically a Souls game on the PS1, where you could choose between two different characters to play as, and go out and kill werewolves, zombies, and gargoyles, and what else not, weird blue monsters, and that guy with the 3 hands, like what the fuck was that? But again, the combat is fun, the enemy designs are cool, love the level designs, this like very gothic old town you're walking in. Very fun to sit here and play this game. The controls hasn't aged that bad, so you can definitely pick this up and play on the go and like feel like you got everything under control in like a few minutes. And yeah, even though I died, it felt like my own fault in a way, and it didn't feel like it was because the game was like very hard. It just felt because like I'm very bad at video games, as per usual. So yeah, Nightmare Creatures, definitely if you can find this cheap. I'm not sure you can find this for like super cheap anymore, but if you like stumble across it by chance for a decent price, consider picking it up or emulate it. I don't care, I'm not your mom. Next up we have one of my absolute favorite games of the PS1. I'm ranking it relatively low, but I know it's like higher in my heart. But again, I'm only basing this ranking of how much fun I had while playing it. And it is Spider-Man. Oh my god, this game. I had so much fun playing this game as a child. Just swing around a Spider-Man fighting all those iconic enemies. But yeah, I feel again the reason why this ranks low is because like the more fun experience happens later. There's like a sewage level which is not that fun. It has some. It's not the worst sewage level ever, but it's like it could be better. It could be more fun to like explore and go around in. But yeah, I love this Spider-Man game. I need to play the sequel, like thoroughly play the sequel one day, because this is like such a blast. Get this. If you're a Spider-Man fan, get this. If you're a Marvel fan, get this. If you're a PlayStation 1 fan, get this. Freaking just get this. Even if you don't have PS1, just get this fucking game. Yeah, it's like super fun, and you will not regret it. I promise. Next game actually surprised me with how high I ended up ranking it, but I just had a blast playing this, and it is Alien Resurrection. Definitely better than the movie, at least based on what I played. Again, it felt so ahead of its time, you know, with how first-person shooters was usually placed on the PS1. This feels like a modern-day first-person shooter on the PS1, and the aliens looked great. The enemies, like the other guys, also like everything just it works. It again, and I don't want to keep like repeating myself, but this game just felt so ahead of its time. So yeah, this is one of those you can definitely like pick up and play. But it should supposedly also get a lot harder down the line. So this is probably also one of those that are like best to emulate and use like save states or cheats and use like a mouse control for it. The game actually has like support for the PlayStation mouse, but I don't have a PlayStation mouse, so I don't know how to like how to play it with that and how good that is even. But yeah, definitely if you can find this for a decent price, pick it up. It's very, very fun. The fourth best game of the Advent Calendar, and yeah, this is a franchise that is the best in my heart, or one of the best in my heart, but I only rank this like a fourth because we didn't really get to experience anything that much, and it is Dragon Warrior 7 or Dragon Quest 7, depending on how you feel like it. And yeah, I love the Dragon Quest franchise, very near and dear to my heart. Problem with this, it's a little slow getting started. I still, every time I walk around, listening to the music, talking to the characters, I just feel like a shot of happiness. And I think that's just the like nostalgia of the Dragon Quest franchise just taking over my poor little body and just blinding me for all the problems with this, because it is like very, very slow. In the beginning, I played almost an hour of this and I didn't even get to experience any combat. We're still walking around talking to people, and that's almost unheard of in Dragon Quest. I cannot remember. I haven't played all Dragon Quest games, but I cannot remember a single other game where I played for like an hour without fighting anything. Like in Dragon Quest 8, it happens like it's like the first thing that happens when you start playing the game, basically. And yeah. Yeah, in all other games, there's like maybe like 5 to 15 minutes or something like that before you have experienced your first combat. And here, not even an hour in, we hadn't fought any enemies, which was weird. But I could still imagine this game, once we get a little further in, it opens up and because it just becomes nice and be captivated by the story and everything like that. As I always do with Dragon Quest games, that is why this one also is ranked so high. So yeah. Cannot wait to get into more of Dragon Quest 7 one day. Alright, 3 games left of the ranking, and the next one is Alone in the Dark. My god, this was a blast. A Resident Evil-like horror game on the PlayStation 1, and I loved the environment. I loved actually how scary it was at times. Like, it made me jump a few times. It might be just because of the loud sound, but still. Whenever I hear people talk about how the original Resident Evil trilogy, like, seriously scared them back in the day, I don't believe them. If anyone told me that this game scared them back in the day, I kind of would believe them, I think. Again, it's a little shame that we didn't get to get out of the forest and the graveyard part and not into the manor of the, because imagine like most of the game will take place inside the manor. But yeah, very cool. I love the like gameplay. It's very similar to like Resident Evil, so yes, that maybe not as hard as Resident Evil. Also, definitely a lot more generous with the ammunition you can pick up, at least eventually. So yeah, this one I also just want to play a lot more of. Alone in the Dark. This might be the best game in that franchise, if I'm thinking right now. Yeah, unless you're like very much into like the original one, that is like, but I don't think that has aged that well. So this probably like but what I would recommend if you want to get into the Alone in the Dark franchise. Second last game of the ranking, and we're back with another movie franchise, and it is Harry Potter and the Chambers of Secrets. Again, what can I say? The nostalgia of this game just had me smiling throughout how much we played. Everything from like the soundtrack to like the sound designs of the spells to just looking at how campy and weird all the like game characters are. And the gameplay itself is just also super fun, except for that sliding thing we had to go to Diagon Alley that can go fuck off in a cave somewhere. But yeah, again, nostalgia might be what is talking right here, but I don't give a shit. It's my ranking. So yeah, there's that. Harry Potter for the PS1, both the first and second games, just wonderfully fun and nostalgic and relatively short. Which also, like, when you have a backlog as big as mine, it's something like if you want to replay an older game, thank God for these shorter games that you can through in like a day or two. Like, thank you so much. Okay, I'm about to show you the game I had the most fun with in this advent calendar. And again, I'm being a cheap little fucker. It's probably not the best game, but just the whole experience of it was the very best. And it was not even originally on this advent calendar. It was actually a late edition, and it is Digimon Rumble Arena. Originally, this was supposed to be Digimon World Adventure, but the game didn't work. I couldn't for the life of me get the game to work when we had to record. So I picked this one up as another Digimon game so we could play this, me and my buddy Brian. And again, I think this was the whole experience of when we just opened the first bottle of Snaps and started drinking and playing this and play competitive against each other instead of like with each other. Just make this such a fun experience. I cannot like, again, this is very similar into the like, what's it called, Nintendo? Why can't I remember this again? Super Smash Bros. It's like a Digimon version of Super Smash Bros. On the PS1. Very fun fighting game. Again, buy this. It's so fun. If you're into like Super Smash Bros. And you want to play like a clone of that, or if you're just a Digimon fan, play this. There's also like a sequel for PS2 and the original Xbox that's also very decent. But I think I would prefer this one. But that might just be nostalgia talking a bit. And again, this is the reason why this ranks so high is just because of how much fun I had playing this with my friend. So yeah, that's the lesson again this year. Friends and alcohol just makes you a happy man, I guess. And this marks the end of this year's advent calendar. I was out a lot earlier this year when I started recording the episodes, so it was a lot less stressful than it's been like other years. Some other years I'm like, I really have to plan everything in my spare time, down to like, if I want to watch a movie a night, it's like, no, you cannot do that. You need to edit or record or do something, and it's like, fuck. But this year I was out like a month earlier when I had to start recording this and preparing this, so it's been a lot less stressful, and that has been like a very nice experience, because I feel like the last 3 or 4 years of the advent calendar was like started to become a bit of a headache, but a lot better this year, so I'm happy with that. This also marks the third year in a row where PlayStation console was in the advent calendar. So I think for next year I'm going to exclude any PlayStation console from the vote. I feel like we should give Xbox and the Game Boy and the Wii again a chance. I feel like I would like to do like a Wii one again. There's like a lot of fun and weird games on the Wii, and yeah, I don't know. I was kind of voting for the Wii this year, but I feel like it's more fitting still with the PS1 in the same year as the PS1 get its 30th anniversary. So that is so great. I also want to give a special thanks to my buddy Brian, who you can follow on Twitch as DJ Bodega, who came on a few days and helped make the experience a lot more fun. So thank you to Brian. Please go and check him out on Twitch or his other stuff. And yeah, most of all, I also want to thank you guys for watching. The dedicated few people who are watching this video series. Like, it would not be alive if not for you, and I'm so grateful for every comment I get and every like on the video and everything like that. Like, thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys so much for writing your comments and the support and just talking about like dumb old video games with me once in a while. That's so awesome. So thank you guys. I would not be doing this if not for you. You dedicated few people. I love you guys so much. And this marks the end of this year's advent calendar. I just want to repeat myself and say thank you guys so much for watching. It means more to me than you ever know. So thank you guys so much. Hopefully I will see you in another video, and until then, Merry Christmas.